Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm Ross Benjamin, your host, and today I am joined on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting YouTube channel by Mr. Jesse Schule, who's been red hot of late. And boy, oh boy, we got a lot to talk about today because I haven't talked to you since the NCAA tournament. Jesse, what's going on?
Yeah, it's too bad that Sean's not here to join us. I guess he's still serving his suspension for talking about conspiracy theories last week. But I think you guys are going to let him back on later this week, right?
Tomorrow he'll be here. Yeah. We didn't suspend him. Sean's playing Mr. Mom today. The kids are home for Easter vacation, and he has to run them around to some doctor's appointments and such. So we'll give him a pass here. Anyway, Jesse, I know you were 0-2 last night, but you've been rolling. As a matter of fact, if you go to gamblersworld.net, which is our sponsor, not only will you see a couple of nice Major League Baseball specials we got going on right now, and it's early bird pricing, and it's for a limited time, and you can get all of our Major League Baseball up until the All-Star break for any one of us, I should say, each one of us, whatever the case may be. For just $3.49, and also as an early bird special for a limited time only, $6.95 for the entire Major League Baseball season. Jesse, baseball's been good to you. Baseball's been good to me, and a lot of other things have been good to you too as well. Tell the folks how you've been doing of late and what's been going on.
You know, Ross, if it wasn't for the first round of the NCAA tournament, everything would be going fantastic across the board. My strategy did not serve me well in the first round, but it's been smooth sailing ever since. I like to play the unders. So when you see 6 of 8 Sweet 16 games go under the total, that's going to bode well for a guy like me. And that carried over into the Elite 8. And that's 6 straight winners with the NCAA tournament, NBA, NHL, baseball, all going well. And, I've never felt so good off an 0-2 Monday. Normally an 0-2 Monday will get you down, but after a 10-2 weekend, it'll take more than that to get me down.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's about making money over the long haul, and too many people judge us on what have you done for me lately. Basically, what have you done for me yesterday? And that's unfair, folks, because sometimes you could have some of the best handicappers in the world like we have right here on gamblersworld.net, and timing is everything. I mean, you jump on when somebody's 10-2 over the weekend and they have an 0-2 day, and you lambaste them on social media, and it's at the end of the day, our job is to make you money over the long haul, just not for one day. And so keep that in mind. And that's why you should take a look at the 3 at 7 and 30-day packages over at gamblersworld.net. And you should really think seriously about investing into any of those 3 packages with any of us. And you get our personal guarantee. If you don't win, you don't make a profit, we will credit your account back the exact amount of what you paid for in that specific purchase. So there you have it. It was a good Monday for me. I gave out my first 3 Major League Baseball picks of the season, and I went 3-0. As I had the Cincinnati Reds, who won in extra innings as a plus 130 money line underdog. I also had the New York Yankees as they continue to roll. I had them minus 114. They cashed in nicely in a 5-2 win, and I had the Giants and Dodgers game over 8.5. And there was 11 runs scored in that game. So 57-30 dating back to last year in Major League Baseball. I was number 1 at the site last year in Major League Baseball, and continue to roll that momentum over into 2024. College basketball, 19-11 with my last 30. So doing very well there as well. And my NBA side, somewhere around 63% since last April. So folks, all my picks, all Jesse's picks, you can get whether it be single game or daily multi-game packages. You could find us at gamblersworld.net. Today we're talking NBA, and Jesse's going to look at the Eastern Conference matchup tonight between the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat. Right now, Miami is minus 2.5, and the total in this game is 207. Jesse, take it away.
Yeah, Ross, this is a really interesting team, the New York Knicks, because they came into the season with sort of high expectations. They weren't living up to expectations, and they fire away to trade that big trade with Toronto, sending R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly north of the border in return for OG Anunoby. And man, they looked like the best team in the NBA when Anunoby came over. The Knicks are 15-2 with OG Anunoby in the lineup. The bad news is they're only 29-28 when he doesn't play. And if you look at those 29 wins during that span, a lot of those games probably Julius Randle factored in their victories. And if you take the fact that Julius Randle's out and OG Anunoby's out, this is a team that probably doesn't have a 500 record with the lineup that they're rolling with here tonight. And we're talking about a Heat team that usually heats up, pardon the pun, at this time of year. Been to the finals a couple times in the last 3 years. Eric Spoelstra, obviously one of the better coaches in the league. And if you look at the history between these two teams, the home team has won 7 straight, and the Knicks have lost 10 of their last 12 at Miami. A short-handed Knicks team without OG Anunoby and without Julius Randle, who, by the way, might not return this season, according to Josh Hart. After their loss to Oklahoma City, in an interview, Josh Hart said, "I'd be surprised if either of those guys play again this season." And that is soul-crushing if you're a Knicks fan. I'm taking the Heat. I'm looking at the money line. Best price I can see is 143. If you can't get a decent price on the money line, I still like them to cover the 2.5. Like I say, I think this Knicks team is a sad, sacked bunch right now.
Yeah, so Jesse says, don't go any higher than 143 on the money line for the Miami Heat. And if that's not the case, if you can't find that type of price, then don't hesitate to lay the 2.5 with Miami over the New York Knicks. Yes, that is a crushing blow for a diehard Knicks fan base, and it's too bad because anytime you take away star power in any sport, it's if you're not a fan of the team, you can't be happy if somebody's hurt, right? Because you want to beat the best, but at the end of the day, it strips us from seeing the best quality product on the floor. And that's too bad if that's the case for the Knicks with those two guys possibly being out for the season. And it certainly puts a damper on any of their playoff hopes in terms of not making the playoffs, but getting out of the first round of the playoffs. So, all right, I'm going to look at Dallas and Golden State. And right now, the Golden State Warriors are a 1-point favorite in this game, and the total is 232. Here's this Dallas team is really playing well right now. Man, oh, man. I watched them the other night in their game. I can't remember who they played on Sunday night, but they were Houston, who was on an 11-game win streak, and Dallas just crushed them. And the Mavericks have played Golden State this year. They've gone 2-0 straight up in ATS in those games. They won both by exactly 10 points. Dallas now has won 7 in a row in 11 of their last 12, and they're heating up and gelling at just the right time with Doncic playing, MVP type of ball, and also Irving, who's been playing tremendous as well, and the supporting cast has really chipped in a big time way. The other thing I mentioned, that Houston game, they're coming off that 125-107 win at Houston on Sunday, which was their previous contest, which ended the Rockets' 11-game win streak, like I alluded to. So, but Dallas has gone 15-1 straight up this year off a win by 15 points or more, and won by an average of 12.1 points per game. And Golden State has won 4 in a row, and but they're coming off a 5-game and 8-day road trip, and they're playing on 1-day rest. And Jesse, I always say this, and I originated this theory in the NHL when I was doing a lot of NHL handicapping. But teams coming off a long road trip, which was very successful. Now, Golden State won their last 4, but altogether they're 4-1 on that trip, which any team would take, a 4-1 road trip. But the bottom line is, when they return home, you would think that they're carrying a lot of momentum. They're in front of the home fans. And I always tend to think there's going to be a letdown, and the numbers bear that out in the NHL, but I carry that over to the NBA in this specific situation because here's why. I mean, Golden State on the road right now, 22-15 after that 4-1 road trip, but at home, they're only 18-19. Below average, and they've actually lost 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 7 home games against a red-hot team like Dallas after a grueling road trip of 5 games in 8 days and then only having 1 day off in between before you return home. I like Dallas here, and I'm going to take the Mavericks plus the 1 over Golden State. Jesse?
Yeah, as much as I'd like to make a case for Golden State, you don't want to step in front of this Dallas team. But it's not the side that interests me here, Ross. It's the total. You mentioned that Dallas won the first 2 meetings of the season, the last game by a score of 109-99, and Dallas has gone under in 8 of their last 10 overall. Both these teams are playing a lot better defensively of late, which is why they both come in on winning streaks. It's still an important game for Golden State. I mean, they're still clinging to that last play-in spot. This should be close to playoff basketball. Both teams plenty to play for. The playoffs right around the corner. The number opened at 234.5. It's been bet down a little bit since then for good reason, but I still like the under myself.
All right, so Jesse has a lean toward Dallas and Golden State going under the total of 232. Our official pick comes from me on Dallas plus 1 over Golden State. And Jesse likes the Miami Heat, either at money line odds of 143 if it goes any higher than that, or you can't get a line that low on the money line, then he says don't hesitate to lay the 2.5 with Miami on the point spread over the New York Knicks. We'll be back tomorrow with not only myself and Jesse, but Sean Higgs will grace us with his presence tomorrow. And by the way, folks, if you go to gamblersworld.net right now, the last 7 days, the top 3 handicappers in terms of money earned are us 3. So you want to pay attention to that, and you want to join us tomorrow because we look forward to that tomorrow, and we'll be talking more NBA basketball tomorrow. And until then, for Jesse Schule and Ross Benjamin, take care and God bless, folks.